Think they're watching the same serials, following the...
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding. All over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud.
Not actually in person, but the woman mentioned he had weird teeth. What? They mentioned he had weird teeth, but... I thought he just had askew teeth, like didn't have braces or something like that. When he was drinking a lot of the purple drink. Oh, yes! That is a good point, that he was drinking a lot of the purple drink. Good point. I'm gonna keep listening.
But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn wrapped out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you?
Yoko, would you like to join my crew? Who are you? I'm Ryan, pleasure to meet you. I'm Ryan, pleasure to meet you.
Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you?
Sure, what do you want? Another round, bartender? I'll stay in chat, but you look like you've had enough. Told you can get me to an information broker. Another round, bartender?
Outstanding! What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger?
I'm told you can help me find a information broker. Vacation, just seeing what it's like for myself. People talk it up like it's a shithole. I mean, it's joking, but it's also kind of like a lie of a mission to say vacation, so I'm gonna say it.
Oof. Some hell you've chosen. You must really love fish.
Allergic, actually. I was kidding.
That is a fucking shame.
Yeah, I'm told you can help me. Okay, fine. So that line effectively just tells me that Nyoka doesn't really joke around. Or doesn't really get the sarcasm of that. Or... I don't know what that's really trying to convey.
Well.
Maybe that she's quite literal?
Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we?
You'd assume not, using...
Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's
think she's
talk
drunk?
business.
Okay, yes, it's to play up the drunkenness.
I'm headed back
You're
out
right.
there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to clear my head.
I'll get that from Abigail, I have to imagine. Sure, what do you need? I'm not in the mood to fetch things. What do you need? Don't need a escort. Just tell me how to get to Devil's Peak. What do you need?
Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock.
I have a caffeinoid.
Well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings?
Mm-hmm.
Pills.
Caffeine and
very
steroid, caffeinoid, I have it.
I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
Medicine, you mean caffeinoid? That stuff's just a stimulant. If I can't get steroid or caffeine something or other, steroid or caffeine something, so you even know what you're taking. I've got some caffeinoid here, will it work? Let's go for the third one first, for the XP.
Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
I've got some caffeinoid here, will that work?
Perfect. Give it here. Whew, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go.
Hell yes, glad to have you. Not looking for company on the road. Glad to have you.
Great.
Let's find the information broker.
Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there, there's a western slope that'll lead us through some fun. You like hunting, right? That's fun. If you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options when we get closer. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
I expected. All right, Vic Max, back to the ship.
A real big game hunter. You gotta give me some pointers. Ever killed.
Oh, I still have nightmares about this one. Fiercest, most foul creature I've ever faced. Just shy of 7 feet tall. breath like a sulfur pool. A little slow, strong as a mountain. If I recall, his name was George, Gregory, I don't know. Some G name. He and a band of pirates tried to ambush me and mine on the trail once.
Wait, you're talking about a person?
Yeah, poor guy. I think my bullets did his face a favor.
We've very much got kind of like the renegade crew going on at the moment. Thank you very much to Silly for gifting a tier 1 sub to Dank Master Phoenix. Dank Master Phoenix, enjoy your emotes in chat and welcome to the Republic. The outfit that Nyoka's wearing looks very, very kind of like wood elf jockey. Somewhere between those two. The logical conclusion of those. Alright. Almost knocked over my glass. I might need to start popping up Persuade, no, Intimidate. Ooh. Ooh, I get plus 11 for lying just by having Nyoka. Looks like the work in Santa's workshop. Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of that kind of vibe to it. I mean, we'll go over competent on both of these, right? We'll get scramble duration to be a little bit further up. And Terrifier's area of effects becomes even higher. It could be okay. You only need 21 points in Persuade to get that 100 you needed, which is 2 levels up. Oh, sorry, it was Persuade, not Intimidate. Oh, yeah. No. We actually do want to upgrade Persuade as well, because getting the extra coward chance is going to be very, very good for me. Yeah, sure. Pump it. We actually get 13 for Persuade by having Felix in the party, which means that I am a hat change and drinking away from having 100 here. Yeah, with the items you might get there now. Yep, definitely. Alright. Plus 10 to dialogue skills when you have no companions in your party. No, because if I have the right companion, I have plus 10 or plus 12 or plus 13 or something. Again, none of these really seem like the bonuses that I want. I'm actually looking further up here still. Tackle time dilation meter max. Ooh! That's good. That appeals. Hey, Black. Good to see you. It's very kind of you to say, Dark Master. Much appreciated. Presented our work to the client, was nervous, but I think they liked what they saw. I'm really glad to hear it. Congrats, bud. You increase your lie skill while Nyoka is in the party. Lovely. Hunter is lowers the radius of your footstep sounds. Yes, extremely into that. What the hell is this weapon? That's a ridiculous light machine gun. And a tremor clay that you should probably never use. Okay, you can get plus 20% damage to creatures. Those are your unique ones. All right, fair. What do you have? Her ability is Barrage. Uses her personally modified LMG to deal damage to a target and set enemies near it ablaze. It lowers their armor rating for 15 seconds. That's going to be very helpful. She also has Lie, Sneak, and Medical. All right, Nyoka, I'm sorry to say that we immediately need to go back to the ship. I know there's a mission that we need to get started on, Nyoka, but orienteering comes first. It's very important that we have a very, very important discussion on the ship. Back to the ship. Who do I take it from?
Some crewmen.
Now, hold on. What happens if we hit the wall?
Most likely, the bullet will ricochet, which could be bad. Or hilarious. There's a tiny chance of a hull puncture, which would suck us into space one chunk at a time. Bad and hilarious.
Ugh. Just imagining that makes me sick.
That's why we don't miss.
Conversation's over. Let me impress y'all. And then, hey, Ellie.
Something on your mind?
No, there's something on your head, and I'd like it. Take that from you. I guess I have to give you something in return. Sure. I mean, that kind of suits. That's got like a kind of artful dodger vibe to it, definitely. And then Nyoka, you are going to need the hat. Perhaps you need the hat for ah, damn it. Yes, thank you very much. I was about to leave that there, and that was going to be a problem. Engineering isn't your thing, but God, those look cool on you. Like, I want to cosplay as this Ellie. Perhaps, oh God, I'm so sorry. My apologies. Look at how cool. She's so dashing. I want to cosplay. I would love to cosplay as that. Incredible. All right, let's pop the webcam back on because we're going out of this. Oh, hang on. Ellie, that's your stuff. Let's look at my own. Because character. Pop the hat on. Have a look at my skills just in case. We have no companion with it at the moment. So that goes up by 13 as we leave. Howdy, Wishy. Welcome to the stream. How'd I get lower? 13 more, so we get up to 86. But I'm wearing the hat, is the thing. So I think what might have happened there is temperament. Temperament does not affect your ability to persuade. Strange. All right, we'll take Nyoko. We'll take Felix. Not really too much that I'm going to need to do on a mission out here, but just in case, I will consider tinkering Nyoko's weapons. I mean, it already does absolutely ridiculous damage. We can level them up to level 21 now, apparently. Sweet. Let's modify it, though, and install a mod. Oh, it already has the mod on it. It's the plasma mod. Got it. Nothing else to resolve on the ship. Bounce. So Felix actually doesn't have any investment in this planet to the point that I kind of want to get Vicar Max, but I need Felix with me at least for the persuasion. So character, skills. There we are. We're on. Yeah, okay. Bonus support persuade. Did I actually level Felix's support for persuasion? I did! So I'm getting an extra 10 on top of it, which is why this works. Got it. So yeah, just drinking that.
Careful, you're hurt!
It's fine, I'm just damaging, just damage boosting. Intentional the entire time. Don't need to go in there yet. Okay, where is this place? The kind of cannery-ish thing. Ras has been speedrunning this entire time. We've only just noticed. You've only just noticed for a good reason. In the whole, I think the speedrun for this game is 20 to 30 minutes. And we're, I want to say, about 25 hours into the game now. So my completion time is a little long. I'm doing the Rhapsody speedrun, so I will get world record. But largely out of there being low competition. Ah, here we go. Did you get Nokia's perks? Not yet. Ah, there you are, Velma. Stream title says you're playing Fallout? Yep. This is Fallout New Vegas 2. Inventory, meds, and then pop a brew that's good for what
I'd give
ails
you
you.
a friendlier welcome.
Who spat in your spirits, Velma?
You noticed my mood? I'm surprised you can see straight today.
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being unkind. I just might find it funnier.
Well, you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition. Anyway, what do you folks need?
We need to talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here, if Caleb wants to...
If you hire Sublight, you'll just give them more control over your business. Anyone want to tell me why this is unselectable? Did the beer wear off in that tiny time? It may have done. May have done. I assumed that it just wouldn't progress while I was in a conversation. Character, skill. Yeah, I'm back below. I was hungover immediately. Cool glitch? Nah, it's not a glitch. I just need to wait for my hangover to go over. I don't know how long that's going to take. So, I have to stand directly in front of her, chug a brew, speed run the conversation, just like immediately run to the thing that I need to say, and then we'll be fine. It can at least show you that it wore off. So up next to my health bar over there, there's a little bit of a drunkard symbol. Does drinking make it does drinking more make it last longer? I don't know. I don't know. I assume not, because otherwise you would only ever use them if you're using a bunch of them at the same time. Do more expensive alcohols last longer? They do. Spacebar speeds up text? It does, but I wanted to see the interaction between Yoka and Velma. How long does the hangover take to wear off? Because feeling like it's taken a while. Also, it'd be nice if I could actually see the information. Oh, hang on. Duration, 3 minutes. Oof. 12 hours in real time. There's a bed upstairs I can use. We're fine. We'll just sober up. 3-minute chat interaction. That's the kind of thing that might get YouTube mad at me. Is there a bed in here? But how do you sleep on the job? Oh, right. She doesn't sleep. She uses caffeinoids instead. Got it. Nope. Nothing in there either. Don't really want to go back to the hotel in order to sleep. I just sleep in here. Examine several phrases have been marked off from Yoka Bartog bingo sheet. Right between the eyes, there were 3, no 4 of them. The rat was this big, took it down in one shot and buy me a drink. I'm pretty sure you said all of those in conversation with us. Man, leave the mag pick there. Definitely don't need the reward. And I do need to clear out the rest of this building anyway. Autoloader operators, and there's Caleb. Hey, bud. I still want to do the 100 persuade before I talk to Caleb. Ideally here. Right.
Sure.
Forgot what button I could have hit there. Oh my god. F is not interact. One of these days I'll learn that. I'll commit it to memory. But today is not that day.
You ever think about what goes on in a marauder's head?
No, they're crazy.
Seb. What did I tell Seb I was going to do? Oh, check up on someone who might have been killed by a manticore. Cool. Sorry, not a manticore. Mantis Queen? Seals everything that isn't nailed down. I mean, that's the way you play these RPGs in general, I feel. It's the only way. Right, Zhang.
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you?
I'd like to trade.
All sales are final, unless you threaten me. I'm kidding. Don't threaten me.
Restricted stock? I didn't know restricted stock was still a thing that existed. Oh, right. I guess I can't purchase them just because I'm not part of MSI. Power grip. Critical chance plus 10% on a melee weapon mod. That actually sounds kind of good. Hunting rifle ultra. Slow firing but accurate. Ideal for taking down heavy targets at medium to long range. I kind of want it. It's very cheap. It already comes with extendo sight for plus 25% to weapon range. Sort of shotgun Mark II. This seems like the kind of thing that I might want to take and then give to one of my shotgun users. 204 DPS. Which has 204 DPS. Even if this has like relatively low DPS, it hasn't been tinkered yet. And it's already level 17. I can tinker it 5 times, I think, right now. For cheap as well. And it's got 3 different modification slots. DPH. Oh, right. Damage per hour. On which? I think I will actually just take 1 sniper rifle. Residents through and through. Fine, we're no longer hungover. Let's run back. No longer hungover. We can make sure that we actually get that conversation down. I just need to see what it does. Abigail. Didn't really have anything to do to say me. Fair. Alright. Velma's gonna be so impressed by how quickly I chug this. That she'll immediately capitulate.
I hadn't thought of it that way. Last thing I need is Catherine mailing even farther up my ass than she already is. Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately. Something else on your mind?
Nope, I'm fine. Hell yes. I haven't even talked to Caleb, but I'm gonna go upstairs and give him the good news. It is upstairs from here, right? Imagine a dude just standing in front of you, chugging booze, and then giving you life advice. That's what I do when I'm off camera. So I'm kind of familiar with the protocol. So that's the way down. Let's go up here. Nothing down there. Again, I don't know why I think craning my head was going to give me any advantage there. Whoops. Fine. Where are you actually, Caleb? Bar? Oh, right. It was the top floor of the bar. Cheers. Much appreciated. I think it's this bar here. Yacht Club. Yep.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace?
Got a lot of brass for a man doing absolutely nothing.
What I am doing, ma'am, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place.
What are you talking about? Your neighbors probably aren't missing your company either, come to think of it. We'll say that one.
And how should they know what they're missing? I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted.
Oh, wah. But now you're all free from the board.
Yes, free to wallow in squalor together. Free to squabble with the iconoclasts over a Raptidon-infested hellhole. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
Yeah, could you follow me into a room? Nope. Okay. Follow me into a room and then I'll close the door behind and then I'll exit. Just me, though. All right, McGuire, what's up?
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Much appreciated.
And if you're keeping Nyoka company, you'll need a few to keep up with her.
Ain't a person on this planet who can keep up with me. Wait, we are talking about a drinking contest, right?
I see.
Now what can I do for you?
Ooh, okay. Why is this place called the Yacht Club, other than the reference to the dev team?
Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all.
Are there any yachts in Stellar Bay? Then they might think you might think about fixing up that sad-looking sign outside.
Don't be so negative. It's what's on the inside that counts.
All right, I love
Speaking
McGuire.
of, you look like you could use a bottle with something good in it.
Said you're not used to seeing new faces around here.
Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the iconoclasts or some such.
What happened at Amber Heights?
Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls, though.
Alright, how well do you know Nyoka?
Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here so often herself.
Hey, you ought to be paying me. Without me livening up the place, y'all would be wallowing in the misery that is your sad corporate lives.
I don't mean that unkindly, Nyoka. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you?
Nyoka's coming across kind of like the Witcher. A little bit like Geralt. Hey Raps, a nice night for streaming? So it is, Famewave. Good to see you. Let's see what you have. I kind of want to purchase your most expensive stuff, which you don't appear to have. That's okay, though. We've got a mission to hand in.
New face, huh? You from Off-World?
Yep. Captain Ron of the Unreliable. What's it to you?
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
I'd love to. We need to talk about Velma, though.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
I convinced Velma to see reason. She'll increase your pay.
How'd you manage that? Wait, never mind. If I question it, it'll turn out not to be true. Besides, I never follow how you got Velma to part ways with a bit card of her own accord. Here, take this as compensation. It ain't a lot, but I hope it shows how much we appreciate all you've done. Now me and my friends here better get back to work before Velma blows a fuse. Best get back to work. Don't want to give Velma a reason to change her mind.
Rad. I wonder if I approached that from a different direction, if I could have just like straight up unionized the workers. I wouldn't be surprised if I could, to be entirely honest with you. All right, so the only thing now remaining in the city that we haven't already done is going to the main building, basically. Let's talk to Celia first.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries,
Like to join a crew?
producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
No, crew join. Damn. Grim asked me to check with you about his Tossball poster.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Earlier, I heard you oversay you were having money trouble.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Really? Well, that was stupid. Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon pots?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Maybe I can talk to him for you, or just ask him on a date. I'm just gonna go across the galaxy. Matchmaking. Call me Hitch. Maybe I can talk to him for you.
Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed...
I got it.
Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
I'm curious. What are you seeing, Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
You know what you want. I'll give you that. You really want to be with someone you can't talk to. There are other fish in the sea. That's all I need to know. You really want to be with someone you can't talk to?
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
That's all I need to know.
Sometimes I get carried away.
No, it's fine. Talk to you later. I'm going to handle that mission first. I'll come back to you, Sanjar. Where's this guy hanging out again?
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
Oh, actually, another thing that I want to do on the way is talk to Velma and see how she feels about the resolution of this questline. Maybe even talk to Frederick, because I haven't had a conversation with him yet.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but...
All right, done on that.
Carry on.
Halstead has nothing to say. Fair. If he rejects her affections, I think we murder him, right? She's so sweet. I think we have to. I think it's the only logical course at that point. Where? Wait, hang on. I could have sworn I must have run past him at this rate. Shame about those legs, though. Oh, no, we can still give it the legs. Just carve them off. It's not going to increase the smell of her room. I mean, apparently, it's already pretty rank. Hey, Seb.
You look like a woman.
Sebastian, you ever get your hands on those pheromone sacs? Manipillars ain't gonna hunt themselves, you know.
I must have hunted a dozen, but I couldn't find a single sack on any of them. Must be looking in the wrong place.
Manipillars ain't got pheromone sacs. I just told him that so he'd stop asking me for advice.
At least I'm getting a good haul of claws in the process. You're in good hands, traveling with Monarch's top merc. Still, if you want any rat glands or manticlaws, I've got you covered.
I'm glad to hear it, but let's talk about Celia.
Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Rhapsody acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff.
Would you consider going on a date with her?
Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm? Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues.
Don't take my word for it. Spend some time with her. I promise she won't ask for a discount. She doesn't want a discount. She's attracted to you, or consider this a advance against lost business. Obviously persuade.
You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice. Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
I'll leave and then immediately run back to Celia. Oh my god, they were that... I ran around the entire town.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet?
I have. He said he'll go on a date with you.
Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia? I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on?
Sorry. It's the second one. Look, you got your chance. Have fun. Don't overthink it. All I know is if you act this crazy, you'll send him running. He likes you. Just don't ask for any discounts.
Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
Perfect.
Huh?
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
Do I? No, you have a meeting with me. That's very generous of you.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
I'm just looking for the information broker. Me, I'm charting my own path, going where within takes me. Second.
What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Halcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna.
Sorry to say, afraid not. If I have to eat one more weird science project past office food in this sprat-fucked colony, I'm going to stab someone. Afraid.
Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
What exactly are you hoping to accomplish? If you're free of other corporations, why do you want to bring them back? Sounds like a personal problem. I got other problems. I'm actually interested in the second.
Because he's scared to go it alone. You need the board to hold your hand and tell you everything's gonna be okay. Ain't that right?
Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
That's the board's way. Doesn't matter if you're Monarch or the Groundbreaker. If the board can't control you, they'll find a way to punish you.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Are you tired? Sorry, and you're tired of scrounging and scraping by. Is that it? It sounds like you're freer than anyone in Halcyon. Why not embrace it? Second.
You talk like Graham.
Can't imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony. Could it be because you're an agent of the establishment?
Monarch's a free planet, Felix. It's also fucked. I ain't a fan of the folks on the board, but if they could be wrangled to rebuild our roads, I'd welcome the help.
Your friend makes a good point, young man. I used to be young and idealistic too, but you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
Oh! So this is one of the hardest things this game is going to throw my way. And that's idealism versus pragmatism. The idea of, like, it's kind of parallel to the idea of reform versus revolution. What do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Are you out of your mind? You can't just go crawling back to your old masters.
Well, we can't continue to subsist like this either.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on. Enough preamble. What's the plan? Enough preamble.
It's a two-pronged approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Silly, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Q-Junct. Q-Junct, thank you very much for being here, I guess. And also, welcome to the Republic. Enjoy your emotes in chat. Firebit, how do you mean to do that? Or how long did it take you to figure you need to defend your city? Which would you choose? Reform or revolution? Revolution. I think there are structural things that reform can't approach, and I think that that the severity and suffering of certain current conditions necessitates quicker movement than slow, methodical reform is capable of doing. And also, slow, methodical reform can immediately be reversed by another party in power. Fine, but how do you mean to do that? How long did it take you to figure that you need to defend your city? Go for the first one.
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
I don't want y'all on the board. This Bolt 52 sounds useful.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
I was starting to get bored listening to you until you said the phrase extremely powerful ordnance.
It is quite the rush.
I actually really enjoy Felix. That's reasonable, but it still sounds like something Mustache Man could say. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, like, you know, Felix has my my passion, let's say. But there are pragmatic things to consider as well. I don't think rejoining the board is the way that I'm going to resolve this mission, mind. I think I'm somewhat, like, significantly closer to Felix on this. But the point that actually was important was Nyoka's. If we can wrangle them to fix the roads, do things that actually tangibly improve, well, on aggregate, are you influencing a good or a positive or a negative? Especially if they can maintain some level of independence while operating maybe in some kind of like the Euro economic zone, right? Like not directly influenced. Oh, actually no, the Euro economic zone, they have to use. They're under the same EU regulations, aren't they? All right, that that example breaks down, unfortunately. What if you make a new board? That's I kind of plan to see if there is a, you know, overthrow and unionize the galaxy option. I'd be amazed if there were, but I'm gonna try it. Ordnance or ordnance?
An ordinance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here, not like Graham's iconoclasts.
Hey now, they may not shower as much as you do, but they've got their own sort of civil.
That's who Graham is. Got it. Can the legal document really be that important? So where do I find this ordinance? Or once you have the Bolt 52, what's the other part of your plan? Top down.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Plasma will do well. Cool. One perception. Why are you saying it that way? I'll see what I can find.
So taciturn, so dour. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Before we go, I need to ask you about something, Sanjar. I met Grim.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
In fact, it was excellent.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
I have some questions about MSI and the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
I imagine you would. How does MSI get kicked off of the board in the first place? What exactly do you want to do to get back on the board? What's the hazard clause? You don't seem to think much of Graham. Top down.
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Do you mean that you initiated your own removal from the board? Getting ahead of yourself again. This is why you can't trust corporations and their so-called laws.
It's true, the board has treated us unfairly, but I'd always envisioned that things could be different. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
Monarch was known as Terra 1. What happened in the other corporations? Terra 1 and Terra 2? I can see why the board put their... I can see the board put their best people on this one.
Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
That seems wise, but not MSI, right? I need to clarify something here. Terraforming results were mixed. They left on account of... Sorry, they didn't leave on account of the hazard. They left on account of their cowardice. Fair enough. That seems wise, but not MSI, right? No guts, no glory. Not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
How forward-thinking of you? Reforms of quitters, Sanjar. Let's discuss this another time. How forward-thinking of you?
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
All right, I take it the leadership didn't embrace your ideas, using the board's own tools against them. Clever. Who's this us and we you keep talking about?
That's what I thought. But
Clever.
the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
Yeah, here you are. I hope you gave them the finger. Guess you missed the transport. Hope you gave them the finger.
In a manner of speaking, many of us stayed behind in an act of quiet but firm defiance. As the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
That's low even for them. But why would they do that? You should have known you couldn't oppose them. That's low even for them.
I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what do we have? I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Is this whole planet going to be an exploration of liberal democracy, liberal capitalist democracy and anarchism? I believe so. That seems to be what's being set up here, which means hell yes, this is going to be an incredible planet. Why exactly do you want to be back on the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, they'll own your dignity too.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that? I can't fault you for practicality. I can. Seems to me anything better than the corporate yoke. Yoke? Not familiar with this word. It's not like yolk, as in like the part of an egg. Yolk like for oxen? Yolk like for oxen. Yolk like for oxen. Oh, sorry, they're a thing you put on. Got it. The three then.
I fear the MSI citizens who've been dissolved into Raptidon Cud would disagree with you. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue.
But will it?
Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
It won't. You would be part of the board. Leverage? Question mark?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes. It'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
So there are, I have seen discussions in certain leftist circles talking about, or rather sentiment, rather than discussion, talking about the state of things getting so bad being good, because it makes people more likely to see the faults of current systems and more likely to support things like reform and revolution. And that same sentiment would hold that making things better within the current system is bad for that reason, because it prolongs its existence. I like accelerationism, yes. So, is that the stance I have to take here? But how do you on aggregate measure the harm? I don't dislike Sanjar, but he does seem too optimistic, I'm afraid. Which is interesting, because usually you'd align optimism with idealism. But no, he's optimistic about pragmatism. Or is his understanding of pragmatism idealistic? God, I love Obsidian. It's really cool how complex this is, though. Yes. I got butterflies in my stomach right now. What's the hazard clause?
It's straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Nyoka has the right of it. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
Sounds like the board gave themselves the power to arrest an entire planet.
They would say it's for the greater good.
And they're invoked it on Monarch, or you sound skeptical? Seems like a sensible restriction. You sound skeptical.
Monarch may be dangerous, but it's hardly the wasteland the board describes it to be. Whatever the board's goals, the greater good has little part in them. On Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us? It's them.
They sound pretty bad. You've got strong feelings on the matter. Maybe you should give them a chance. I'm going to say the second one. I don't know them yet. Does Fallout New Vegas explore these matters? Okay, so Fallout New Vegas doesn't explore specifically these matters. Obviously, there's, not much of, well, I mean, I guess in the background, in the kind of, the scenery, the, Americana, there's, and Vault-Tec as well. So, the setting and lore of that universe is more involved in discussions about economic theory than the actual conversations are. However, Fallout New Vegas does get into some heavy philosophical subjects, depending on who you talk to. Have a conversation with Caesar, for example. You'll probably have really good time. Although, getting to the point where you have a conversation with Caesar is... They sound pretty bad. You've got strong feelings on that.
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So, what's the downside?
Yeah, exactly.
Shall I begin with the supply shortages or the subtle but constant threat of annihilation? He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
Earth Directorate Assault Cruiser. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about something else.
What can I do for you?
It'd be cool if Obsidian remade FOMV with less glitchy but better graphics. Here it is. While I agree, I would also like to see like the logical conclusion of the Legion storyline actually being fleshed out as well. Looking for an information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate.
How do I get to Devil's Peak?
You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But I see you've met Nyoka. Anyone can get you there safely. It's her.
He just wants me out of his bar.
Out of his bar? Oh, I guess his, because it's the bar in town. I gotta go leave conversation.